What's going on? Well, today we're going to start putting the Coyote motor into Lincoln. First thing we got to do is the factory crossmember doesn't have bolt holes for the swap kit that I bought, so have to put the motor in and mark the holes and then pull the motor back out and then drill the holes so we can bolt it in. Transmission crossmember is just lightly bolted in. I'm pretty sure I have to take it back out to get the transmission to bolt up. But if you look, you have to cut the tunnel to get because the transmission sits so high. But once we get it all in, I'll show you what it looks like and the reason why you have to do that. But the kit that we bought had the motor already on the engine stand with the transmission bolted to it. And these are just loosely bolted on right here. Have all that snugged up. Got a billet transmission mount. I already got the polyurethane mount on it. But that's what you got. Put the front sump oil pan on it so you don't have to cut the cross member. And once I get it all done, I'm gonna clean the engine up real nice. I don't have anything. The torque converter or the flex plate's not on there. Figure I just get it mocked up and get everything, make sure it's fitting. You have to do a little bit of cutting in here. This plate, you cut here and here and then weld this plate in it. That's to clear the alternator. And then over on this side you have to, I'm not exactly sure where, I haven't looked at the directions, but you have to cut to clear the headers. But so that's the game plan for the day. I just want to get it to where we can bolt this jewel in, and that'll be one step closer. It's a struggle to get that in there. It's not in place completely yet. As you can see, motor mounts still aren't touching the frame. I gotta get it squared up. Let's walk over here. I'm gonna take the factory brake booster off, and because that's going to be replaced with a Wheelwood master cylinder, because it is really close on the gearbox for the power steering, and this is in the way. So I'm about to take that off, and ended up having to cut the transmission tunnel. Let me climb in here. Had to cut the transmission tunnel more, and it's still a little too close on the sides. I can't get the transmission high enough in the back to get the cross member back in it, and I think once I get that trimmed up, I'll be able, the motor mounts will sit flat in it. So we're going to do a little bit more trimming, take some more parts off, and see if we can't get it lined up and in the hole. My dogs have such a hard life. Hammer. Bless his heart, he's working so hard. But when I lifted the car up, I wanted to get under here and show y'all. That's the transmission cross member that come in the little shop manufacturing's kit. What I did was I went ahead and bolted the transmission completely in place, made sure everything lined up, and see, everything's got real nice ground clearance under here. Transmission clears the steering, and then the oil pan clears the the front cross member real nice. And you can see here I have the mounts in place now, and what I did was I just took a little pick and scribed in the circles. That way when we pull it out, I'll have a mark to drill. Purposely didn't clean any of the grease off of the cross member so I would have something where it would scribe to real nice. But everything's fitting good. If you look right here, see, it's still tight right here, but it bent enough to get everything in place. I'm gonna lower the car down and show you what I was talking about with the drive shaft tunnel and the transmission being so high, and we're making progress. Here's what I was talking about with the transmission and drive shaft. If you see, you got your flange here, and it is, the center of the flange is about the center of the top of the old drive shaft tunnel. Excuse the mess. Oof, so much to do. But so what you have to do is we're going to build a new drive shaft tunnel, and then we'll pull a string from the front to the back to get the clearance for the new drive shaft. I'm thinking about running a two-piece drive shaft just so you run it down and then run it back. You know, they used to do that in the old Cadillacs. But so we'll replace the floor pans here and over on the passenger side and put the new tunnel in. And then on the front, just some other clearance issues that I already touched on, but this is just a visual. Right there where your alternator goes, you can see it's touching here. So I said this piece comes in the kit. You notch the frame there and then weld that in. And that clears for that. AC compressor will go over here, but all in all, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Once we took the master cylinder off, it gave us a little bit more room over there. And if you look, you can take all the transmission bolts out from up underneath the hood. Lots of room front to back. Side to side, not so much. Headers are going to be a little interesting, but I'm excited. So now we just need to pull the motor out, drill the 6 holes for the engine mounts, and then I'll figure out where to go next. I'm happy though. That's what you end up with after you drilled the 3 holes. Pretty self-explanatory. And you see I've already put this one mount in. All the hardware and everything supplied in the kit. So that's now done. Like I said, I'm going to trim this to cut a little bit more. I'm not going to bore y'all with all that in this video. But before I forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, because in the next video I'm going to be going over what you have to do to get the header clearance. So on this side you have to cut this plate at an angle and then weld it in, and that'll give you clearance for the headers on the passenger side. And then, like I touched on earlier, see this plate goes in here kind of like at an angle here. You cut all this, and so your alternator will go there. I'm gonna get these installed fully. Before we put the motor back in, I'm going to replace the bushings. They say these just wear out. These don't look wore out, but they make a little aluminum bushing kit. I'm gonna take the gearbox off and replace all that stuff, get some more of this stuff cleaned up. I know the engine bay looks kind of rough. This has got to be replaced, and there's a few spots on the inside of the car that look pretty bad, but I promise this thing will be nice when I'm done. Kind of looking for the diamond in the charcoal right now. But so all in all, we've made really good progress. I've already replaced all the steering. All that's brand new. So see, let me give you a little view there. All that's got to be replaced. But so I'm happy the motor is mocked up kind of now. It'll have to come in and out a few more times. But I appreciate y'all watching, and see y'all next time.